an admittedly difficult season for Klay Thompson ended with his scoreless 0 for 10 showing and a loss to Sacramento in the play-in tournament. Klay suspected that it might be the end of his time with the team that drafted him 11th overall in 2011. Thompson chose to play for the Dallas Mavericks in free agency over his dad Michael's former team, the Lakers. Klay, the Mav, is at the mic.
Coming here is just such a fresh start and feeling just wanted again, and like I bring great value. It just gets me excited to go out there and even work out after this press conference and get shots up. And so, yeah, there was times last year it was tough where it wasn't as joyful as it had been in the past. And it's nice to kind of shed that and have a whole new fresh start, whole new group of guys to get to know and co-workers. So a whole new city. It's really cool, and I'm going to embrace the heck out of this opportunity.
You want to be where you wanted, right? You want to be where you're valued, Coach. It's good to see him getting this opportunity. The Mavs made it to the finals this past season, Coach, now adding Klay. So where does this signing put them in the West?
I think it puts them third. I love the signing, and I really like what Klay said about a fresh start and being wanted and being energized and being healthy and all those things. I think they're third. I think they're behind the two teams that won 57 games. One of them we never talk about. We never talk about Oklahoma City. They're not going anywhere. They're only going to continue to get better. And then Denver. Those two teams aren't going anywhere. People would say, well, are they ahead of Minnesota? I do think this signing puts them ahead of Minnesota. But we need to spend more time. You talk about additions. How about Caruso and Hartenstein with Oklahoma City? Two perfect fits that actually separate them from the field as opposed to Klay Thompson, who's also going to be a huge piece because Kyrie Irving and Luka obviously are going to create double teams. Double teams create ball movement. Ball movement creates open threes. I think it's a perfect fit for him. But I do think we should talk about Oklahoma City more because those dudes, they ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, so you coach it has them 3. I've got Dallas 4. So my Western Conference standings as of right now: Oklahoma City, the Timberwolves, Denver, and then the Mavs. We don't talk about Oklahoma City enough, and we should be talking about the fact that they won the offseason with all the additions that they made. Isaiah Hartenstein is huge. What were some of their biggest issues in the series against Dallas? Defense and rebounding. They were able to remedy a lot of those things and then some. Alex Caruso swapping Josh Giddey out for him. This is a team that has a future MVP, an SGA, a young core that is only going to get better with time. So I've got them ahead of where the Mavs are. To me, the pause I have with Dallas right now, I think that Klay brings a sort of shooting that was not there in the NBA Finals. And outside of Luka and Kyrie, you have somebody who is going to be great on those catch-and-shoot threes, the corner threes. Defensively, though, swapping out Derrick Jones Jr. for Klay Thompson at 34 years old. We know the injuries have been an issue in the past. That's the only thing that kind of holds me up on this. But the top 4 in the Western Conference right now are pretty top-heavy. It's funny that we still don't talk about the Denver Nuggets doing anything because they've been frustratingly stagnant here. How they try to replace KCB is probably their biggest issue. But I think the Timberwolves got better as well. All 4 of these teams got better in free agency.
I'm going to go with second. I have the Dallas Mavericks second, behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I love everything that y'all said about OKC. Now you're bringing a Hartenstein, Chet Holmgren can play that 4 position and be more, elusive in his natural role. But also Alex Caruso, what he brings to the table. When I look at that series versus Dallas, games 3 and 6, those 2 games could have went either way. And, OKC could have won them. Dallas ended up winning them. They won that series, went on to the Western Conference Finals and the NBA Finals. But when I look at Dallas, and they make a trade, right, for P.J. Washington and also Gafford. I think having an offseason with all these guys being together, you're adding a Klay Thompson who averaged, 17.9 points per game, 18 points per game last season. You have a Luka and you have a Kyrie who's going to have the basketball in their hands majority of the time. They're going to demand those double teams. They're going to demand the attention. So Klay Thompson is going to get a lot of wide open shots, something they could have desperately used in the NBA Finals versus the Boston Celtics. So I really like what this basketball team is now. And I think also having that full offseason with the entire team being there, if you're Jason Kidd, you have to address the defense, right? Especially what happened in the NBA Finals. That has to be at the forefront of everything, in my opinion, because we know what this team could be offensively. So I think, training camp and this entire offseason, they have to focus defensively on how they can be better. How can they protect Luka? He can be better. I don't think it's going to be anything drastic that we see. But right now, I have them second. I'm kind of concerned about Denver because them losing Bruce Brown last year played a pivotal role in their success that they did not have in 2023. Now losing KCP, a guy that you can count on defensively and hit timely three-pointers, that's a major loss that I don't think a lot of people are talking about enough for the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, Harry, I agree with you on Denver having a little bit of an if. But I'll tell you one thing. We're talking about the best teams in the West, and we spend all our time talking about the Lakers and the Clippers. And you know what? We're not talking about the Lakers and the Clippers. And I think the biggest shock of the offseason so far is the Lakers striking out. I think if you think about the Los Angeles Lakers, and everyone says, well, don't worry, the Lakers, it's Los Angeles. It's a premier, franchise. They're going to attract free agents. Well, you know what? The Lakers haven't attracted free agents. I think that's been the biggest shock of the free agency thus far.
Coach, I would also add, let's not forget, right, Memphis is going to get Ja Morant back.
Yes.
We look at what the Sacramento Kings were able to do and bring it in. God, I can't think of his name.
DeMar
DeRozan.
Yeah.
Right? And Keegan Murray, the way he stepped up for that team. Sabonis is a triple-double machine. You also look at their point guard and how he's able to play. Malik Monk coming off the bench. Do not slip on Sacramento. I think Mike Brown and this team, they have to, get over this hump that they've been trying to get over the last few years as well.
Real quick, I have 15 seconds. Coach, with the Lakers as presently constructed, how far can they go?
Not very far. They're barely a playoff team. They'll make the playoffs, but that's about it. They're not a winning team. I don't like the construction of their roster. They've gotten older. I think there's issues.
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. Think I'm gonna try to wear, I pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA over here,